Yes, ma'am.
For you also, Bethel?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And Tanisha, what about you?
I'm sorry, ma'am, can you repeat?
I'm asking, have your classes started?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. And which chapter
Ma'am,
is current? Huh?
I was, I have my ninth standard have started from very long, like, I have taken your classes for the chapter 1 in biology.
You've taken classes with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Acha. Okay. The whole entire cell, fundamental chapter is done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am, not the fundamental chapter. Yes, ma'am,
Then
cell fundamental, yeah.
that is done.
Yes, ma'am. We were on second chapter, tissue.
Are you in my batch, Tanisha? The one that is in my batch?
I don't know, ma'am, I got the link for this.
Show me your face. That is why when I see students, then only I'll know na who you are. Show me for once and then switch it off. Oh yes. Okay.
So ma'am, I should leave this?
Hmm?
So ma'am, should I leave this meeting?
No, 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 no. You
It,
shouldn't.
okay.
No, because you people will be continuing with me. So this is sort of like a bridge class for you in order to find out all the things that you will be needing for class 9. So now when we talk about the class 9 portion, you have 3 chapters associated with it, right? You have the cell chapter, you have the tissue chapter, and then you have improvement in food resources chapter, right? 3 chapters are there. Are there any other chapter other than these 3?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there? Which chapter is there? Okay. So see, I would like to, brush up on these things wherein I'd like to talk to you about the kharif crops and the rabi crops. So the kharif crops are the ones which are sown in the rainy season. Like crops, they are of 2 types. You might have studied this in class 8. So when the plants of the same kind are cultivated at one place on a large scale, it is called as a crop. Okay. For example, crop of wheat means that particular plant is grown in the field are that of the wheat. So when we talk about crops, so in our country, India, there are different types of crops present according to the season. Understood? So when we talk about the kharif crop and the rabi crop, now the crops that are sown in the rainy season, we call it as the kharif crops. And the rainy season in India is from June to September. What are the different types of kharif crops? We have the paddy, maize, soya bean, groundnut, and cotton. Okay, then there is the rabi crop. So the crops that are grown in the winter season, like from the month of October to March, these are called as the rabi crops. Okay, so these would be the wheat, the gram, pea, mustard. Like these are the different types of crops that are there. Okay, students. So now, furthermore, see for the first chapter, that is the fundamental unit of life called as the cell. For that chapter, Bethel, you tell me up till which topic have you people done in your school?
We just started the second chapter tissue.
Oh, so that chapter is completed in your school, right? Okay, okay. Okay. Just give me 1 second,
Yes, ma'am.
students. Okay, students, can you see the screen? Can you see the screen? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Now, these are the 3 chapters that I was talking about. Now, both of you have done cell chapter, meaning fundamental unit of life chapter in your schools. What all things have you learned? Can you like brief me? What all things have you learned? Or what all things are there in the chapter? Hmm? Like whatever it is, it doesn't have to be perfect. Whatever you know, you speak.
Like the person who first knew about the cells and
Hmm.
what cell it was, where it was from.
Yes, very good. So that was the discovery of the cell. Very good. What else? Yes, Bethel?
About the cell, what type of cells are there,
Hmm. Then?
and about the cell, different type of cells, like that.
Types of cell, correct. Okay, apart from that,
Then what cell made up of what?
the different components of the cell, that is also there. Very good.
Yeah.
What the cell is made up. Okay. Have you people learned about the different types of organisms? Like unicellular, multicellular. Have you learned about them?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What about prokaryotes and eukaryotes?
Yes, ma'am.
Who can tell me the difference between a prokaryotic organism and a eukaryotic organism? Tell me whatever you know. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'll teach you everything. So what is a eukaryotic organism? What are we? Are we eukaryotes or are we prokaryotes? Or are we animals or not?
The eukaryote.
We are? Say, I didn't hear.
Um,
See.
I
Say.
like can I tell the difference?
What?
Can I tell the difference between eukaryote and prokaryotic cells?
You cannot or you can.
I can.
Say.
Like eukaryotic cells are those any cell that contains a clearly nucleus and membrane bound organelles, and prokaryotic cells are those organisms that does not contain a membrane bound nucleus or organelles.
Yes, exactly. Very good. Anything you'd like to add, Bethel, to it? Any example would you like to add? Can you give me the example
Yeah,
of
ma'am.
prokaryote?
Prokaryote, yeah. No, prokaryotic has single chromosome and eukaryotic have more chromosome.
More what? Chromosome.
Yes, ma'am.
And other than that, the best example for prokaryotic organism would be bacteria. And for eukaryotes, it would be plants, animals, fungus, all of them. So let us begin this chapter, fundamental unit of life. Now you people don't write anything. Let me teach and then I'll give you time to take down the notes. So when we talk about the fundamental unit of life, that is our cell. When we talk about the cell, being fundamental is being one of the most important things for the existence. Okay, we are living organism because of the presence of a cell. So cell is called as the structural and functional unit of life because without the cell, life is not possible at all. Now, talking about who discovered the cell. So Robert Hooke in the year 1665, he was the person to discover the cell for the first time. But the only thing is that the cell that he discovered was a dead cell. Now the question comes along, from where did he take out that cell? So the cell that the Robert Hooke studied, he got it from the bark of the tree. Okay, bark of the tree. The cells that come from the bark of the tree, they are called as the cork cells. So he took out the cells from the bark of the tree and then he viewed under the microscope. So he was the one, Robert Hooke was the one who discovered the cell. Then, talking about who discovered the first living cell, so that was Anton von Leeuwenhoek in the year 1674. Now the question comes along, like when we talk about the cell, so these are some of the questions that may be asked, like what kind of cell did Robert Hooke discovered? From where did he get the cell? And also the main question is that why do we call the cell as the structural or fundamental unit of life? So we do so because every living organism, whether it is a microorganism, whether it is plants, animal or anything, they are made up of cells. There is no living organism that is not made up of cells. Apart from that, cell is capable of existing independently. It can exist independently, and that is why we call it as the structural and the functional unit of life. Now, depending upon how many cells, like depending upon the number of cells that are there in an organism, the organisms, they are of two types, unicellular and multicellular. Now, unicellular organisms are the ones that are just made up of one cell. They only have one cell and that is it. They do not have anything more than that. The best example of unicellular organism would be bacteria. One more thing that you can call a unicellular organism is single-celled organism. Second type of organisms are multicellular organisms. Now, multicellular organisms are the ones that are made up of more than one type of cells. Right? They are made up of multiple cells. For example, there is man, fungus, all the animals, plants, they are multicellular organisms. Is it clear, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, there are certain fun facts you people should know that the biggest cell on the planet is the egg of an ostrich. It's the biggest cell ever. The longest cell, longest meaning it's really, really long in terms of its length, that is the neuron or the nerve cell. And the smallest cell is the bacteria called as the mycoplasma. Now, further, how we saw unicellular and multicellular. So, let us see the differences. So, unicellular organisms, they are made up of one cell and they are smaller in size as compared to the multicellular organisms, which are bigger in size. Now, unicellular organisms, they have a very simple organization. Simple organization means it's like a very simple structure that they have, and they do not have extremely complex structures. When we talk about the multicellular organisms, they have a much complex organization. They are much more complex. The lifespan of unicellular organism is usually very short, whereas the lifespan of a multicellular organisms, they are longer than that. Now, under the unicellular organism, majority of them are prokaryotes. But there is one eukaryotic organism that is unicellular in nature, and that is yeast. Okay, yeast is a unicellular fungus, which is a, like, even though it is a eukaryote, but it is unicellular. And then bacteria, paramecium, amoeba, all of them are unicellular organisms. But under the multicellular ones, every single organism will be eukaryotic. No prokaryotes are multicellular. Is it clear, students? Any doubts?
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Oh, great. Now, furthermore, talking about the types of organisms, depending upon the absence or the presence of nuclear membrane. So there are two types of organisms, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Now, prokaryotic organisms are the ones in which the genetic material or their DNA is not surrounded by a nuclear membrane. So they do not have a membrane-bound nucleus, nor do they have membrane-bound cell organelles. Like mitochondria, chloroplast, these things are absent in the case of prokaryotes. Prokaryotes are usually smaller in size. The best example is amoeba and bacteria again. When we talk about the eukaryotic organism, so these are the ones that properly, like you can say, have a nuclear membrane. Their genetic material is surrounded by a membrane. Apart from that, they also have all the membrane-bound cell organelles present in them. Comparatively to the prokaryotes, the eukaryotes, they are bigger in size. For example, plants and animals. And the prokaryotic organisms, they are primitive, whereas the eukaryotes are more advanced. Any doubts up until now, students?
No,
Any
ma'am.
doubts? Okay.
No, ma'am.
All right. People note down till here, then we'll move forward.
Done, ma'am. Done, ma'am. Done, ma'am. Done, ma'am. Done, ma'am. Done, ma'am. None, ma'am.
Okay, done, students. Any doubts up until now?
No, ma'am.
Everything is clear now? Okay. So we up until now have discussed about the different types of cells and everything. Now let us move forward and talk about the cell size. Now see, depending upon the organism, depending upon where it is needed, the size of the cell varies a lot. So there are some plants and animal cells that are so big that you can clearly see them under the microscope. Okay, but then there are so many different types of, you can say, cells of microorganisms that are so tiny. Like say plant and animal cells, you can see them with your naked eye. You do not need to have a microscope to visualize them. But for smaller or for tinier cells, you would require a machine called as, or you can say an instrument called as a microscope. And what these instruments do is that they enlarge the picture and helps you to see that cell better. So the cells that are seen with the help of a microscope, they are only few micrometers. Imagine meter and then micrometer, that they are that tiny in their diameter. That is why you require a particular microscope to visualize them. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Now talking about the next thing, like when people, like when cell was discovered and everything of that sort happened, now after that, people started to formulate theory related. Okay, like they wanted to know what are the different theories or how the cell performs and everything. Okay, so basically cell theory was formulated, which was formulated by two biologists, that is Clyden and Swan. Okay, so like one of them was a botanist, meaning he studied plants, and the other was a zoologist and he studied animals. So both of them came to the same conclusion and they gave 2 points. They said that all the plants and animals, they are made up of cell, and that cell is the basic unit of life. These are the 2 points given by Schleiden and Swan. Then came another scientist named as Rudolf Virchow, and he said that the cells, they come from pre-existing cells, meaning the cells that have already been existing, the new cells are going to come from them. And this phenomena is called as omnicellular e-cellular. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
But remember that the cell theory is applicable to every single organism except for the virus. The reason why, it's because viruses, they are dead outside the living organism's body and they are living inside the organism's body. So it's neither dead nor it's living. So you can't call it truly living. And that is why these are the ones which, like the cell theory, is not applicable to them. Okay, now you people write down this part.
Done, ma'am.